Hi everyone, I'm back again. I'm actually visiting family in Quebec and I'm doing this without my headset, so I hope the volume is good. Anyway, so I wanted to go over the Bitcoin.com pool, and you can actually visit and sign up for this pool if you go to console.pool.com.bitcoin.com and sign up and start mining. Now, this pool has two servers in the US and two servers in China. And see here CN 04 and 05, and here's US 1 and 2. The Stratum server is right here for the US, and this is for China. If you're going to mine on this pool, I highly suggest for the first pool setting, you use the North American if you're in North America. And your backup pool 2 should be the China one, and if in reverse if you're somewhere else, it's up to you, the preference, but you should have those. And for the third, your current pool. Now this pool is a beta pool. There's a lot of bugs that they are fixing, and this is on the front end interface. They do have sometimes take out, so if you're mining on that North American pool, they sometimes take down the server and you immediately get transferred to a backup one, USO2, or they take it both down, and if you have the China one server set up, you start mining automatically on that server as they fix issues. That's why I highly recommend setting both up first and not just one. That way, if one or if either of the servers go down, you're still mining and there's no issues. It does offer these, so it's a good thing. But the bugs are mainly in the front end interface, where you can see here. So I'm in the dashboard section, and the issue, the one thing I see here is that your account stats, if you go to account, for example, your current hash rate and active workers, total earned, sometimes don't show up. They show as 0, so you start thinking, hey, are my workers offline or something? But it's just a bug on the website, actually, not with the server or the miners. If you go to shares, the problem with the shares here, it says can be delayed up to 1 hour. So it's actually supposed to be showing live continuously, but it's actually posted for the previous days. So I don't get to see October 15 until we're October 16. And that's something they need to fix. Not that it matters, but I mean, again, if it's supposed to be live, it should be. If you go to worker hash rate, this gives you the hash rate past hour, day, week, and month. Where you see here, this is down and up and up and down. This is either I'm turning off miners or the server went down. These dips all the way, these here dip on October 12 and October 16, that's the server going down. And then immediately it's switching to the backup one and continuing. And we can see that in the past days, like whoop, very quickly. So back to account. Now, if you go to account transactions, what you get to see here is they actually use Coinbase to pay you out. Coinbase is pretty quick. So for the date, whether it's hours or days, and the amount, the fee is 0 for this pool, so it's pretty good. One thing they should work on is the sizing for each column, so it's actually displayed as a full, not broken in half, wrapped up. So anyway, and what's missing here is the block for each transaction. Like, what is this transaction corresponding to? Which block? Because if you go to blocks on the side here, you can see blocks, 2 blocks that were mined 10 and 16 hours ago, and you see the confirmations here. And are these transactions for those blocks or the blocks before? Also, what's wrong here, there's no really information, FAQ, that would tell you how many confirmations are necessary before you get paid. If you go to the FAQ page, it's like, what are your fees? Yeah, you get paid 100% out of the reward, in addition to the transaction fees. Yeah, sorry. So PPLNS, when the blocks reach 100, this is new. This wasn't there, I believe. I might be incorrect, but I looked for this and I didn't find it. Maybe I was half asleep or something. But yeah, over here it should state that the transaction fees are shared or paid out to the miners. There's still a lot of information to be added. However, that's the few things. Another thing is, if you go to the blocks, this is a little bit confusing. Is this bad? Is this good? Someone that has been mining for a while, like myself, would understand the difference between 124% and 309. And this can be confusing. Usually color coding them and putting a key to the color coding helps out new users or new miners, people that are new to mining. And also it tells you here which server mined the block, so that's interesting. That's pretty good. This is why it doesn't matter which server mined it, you still get paid because your shares go towards mining the block. But I figure it's pretty good because you can see the US server is actually mining the most. And if you go to the dashboard, this pool is 1% of the total network hash rate, which is interesting. Under pool statistics, all the way to the bottom, you see the hash rate. You can tell these servers are down or nobody's mining at them. But earlier, for most part of the day, the hashing rate, the total hashing rate is 30 something petahashes. I think CN4 and 5 are offline temporarily. One thing they didn't mention, I believe, here in the payout is the amount they pay out for the PPS, pay per share. They should state how many bitcoins are paid out. But it does tell you here, PPS shares will be subtracted from the PPLNS shares during that round. So this is interesting. It should be a little bit clearer, but I guess your shares, if you're using that method, put towards the block and you pay that accordingly, but it should be clearer. It's a bit confusing. Now, one thing here, the mining pool servers, I believe these dots in the servers should be color coded, so green for online and red for offline. And the server hash rates should be here instead of pool statistics. So this information should be here. Now, the good things about this pool is that it supports large blocks, 16 megabytes, using Bitcoin Unlimited program. 0% fees for both payouts, and you can make actually more Bitcoin mining on this pool. Somebody calculated to be close to or around 6% more than other pools, and this has to do with the fact that it's 0% fee. In addition to, you actually get transaction fees. I'm currently making around 0.0834 or 5, 0.085 or 0.084 or 0.083 BTC per block, depending on the hash rate and the number of shares submitted, of course, which is a lot higher than Slush's pool. Eventually, I get paid about the same or a little bit more than on Slush Pool because I don't have to pay the 2% fee that Slush Pool requires. Now, what I would recommend is if you're a home miner, or you have 1 to 9 miners, I suggest using this pool because it's a small pool, especially if you're mining on Kano. Kano charges you a fee, 0.9 fee, so what's the point of mining on Kano when you can mine on this pool and save that 0.9% fee? If you're on Slush and you have 1 miner, maybe 2, or whatever, I do suggest switching to this one to save on the fee. Every Bitcoin counts, especially at this current price level for Bitcoin. So that's it so far. I'm pretty pleased with this pool. I don't think I'll switch away from it. One thing to note, if any of you out there are running 10 petahashes, you can actually sign up for a private server, which is pretty cool offering. So yeah, that's an excellent way of mining and saving Bitcoin on fees. So the pool link is console.pool.bitcoin.com. I'll have that in the description below. And please support me by signing up to Gold Money Inc. and Quadriga CX. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care, guys.